So today we're going to be taking a look at Tarkin from the Revenge of the Sith line, and personally I think this is the best Tarkin that Hasbro's ever made. I know some people are probably gawking at that right now saying, oh no, the TVC one obviously is, or maybe this one is, I don't know. But I think this is the best Tarkin that's ever been released from Hasbro, and I'll go into great detail as to why. If you've been following my channel for a time now, or you're interested in it, I did a top 10 most underrated action figures in this Hasbro Star Wars line, and this is one of the figures I included with it. And the reason being is I think this looks more like Tarkin than like the TVC Tarkin, for example. And on top of that, this one is the more budget Tarkin that we've gotten out there. I actually didn't get this one until about 2017, and I got it, I distinctly recall I got it for $5.65 free shipping on Amazon. So if you really need a Tarkin for your collection and you don't want to spend a lot of money for it, this is a really good one. And the TVC action figure, I don't have that one, but from what I have seen of it, I just don't think it looks very good. The Tarkin there looks very sickly, or it doesn't look exactly like Peter Cushing very well. I think this one looks more like him than that one does. And that army green he has, I don't think it's not a good combination. He has the soft goods lower tunic, and then the rest of it's plastic, and it just doesn't look right. If Hasbro ever wants to do another Tarkin and TVC line, I think it'd be better for them to go back to the drawing board than to do a re-release of that one. Knowing Hasbro, that's probably what they'll end up doing as a re-release, but it would be nice if we can get a brand new one eventually, especially now that we have the definitive Imperial Officer mold with Admiral Piet, and then Moff Giroid is around the corner as well. But for time being, I think this one stands as the best Tarkin we've ever gotten. I don't have the Revenge of the Sith packaging to show you, but if you know anything about that line, I think it was one of the more iconic packagings that Hasbro ever made. And I do recall at the time of the movie, this was one of the last action figures released in that line, and he was one that peg-warmed heavily as far as I remember. It seemed like everywhere I went, Walmart, you name it, it was everywhere, and it wasn't moving. And obviously all these years later, you can still find him for under $10 brand new. So for all those reasons, I think that's why this is the best Tarkin to date. It looks like Peter Cushing, it looks like Tarkin. The colors are all consistent throughout, looks pretty good, and he's affordable for the average collector. But the action figure itself, not a whole lot going on with it. The articulation's pretty limited. About the most you can do with this is have him standing with his in like parade rest position, or like this for instance, and have him as a background character with Vader or the Emperor, for example. But that's all you're really going to need Tarkin for anyway. Do you really need Tarkin in all these action poses? Not really. So as far as I know, this particular mold of Tarkin has been used multiple times before. He came with the Death Star conference room pack as well. The only difference between that one and this one is he has gray hair in that. It came with Wolf Yularen and Admiral Monty, for example, that particular pack. And this one was also used for one of the very first comic book packs. They came with the Stormtrooper, I think it was, and they made him look very comic book like. He had a bright green uniform with some yellow, and it doesn't look very good at all. At least for me, that is. I do think some people have said that they prefer that one over this one, which is perfectly fine. I just think this looks more like a realistic interpretation of Tarkin. And I think he looks better with the brown hair than the white or gray hair, for example. So in terms of the articulation, he does have a ball joint in the neck there. Pretty good range of motion for what it is. Then he has swivel shoulders, swivel elbows, which I think worked fine for this action figure. Then he has swivel wrists. He does have a swivel waist, and then he has swivel hips, and that's all. No articulation in the knees or ankles. Not a big deal though. In terms of the accessories, he just comes with the DC-15 rifle that we've been getting with all these clone troopers for all these years, although we don't get this particular mold anymore, which I think is the best one. It's very sturdy, very hardy, and it fits in everybody's hands. And then he comes with a display stand as well. I really miss these environmental stands that Hasbro used to do. And I miss the name stands as well that they did during the Saga Collection days back in 2006. I think those were really nice to have. Fortunately, Hasbro doesn't seem to do stands anymore, and with the TBC line, obviously we won't get stands. I wish we did though. I think this is supposed to be an environmental stand based off Coruscant. I have so many of these at this point, and they come with so many different action figures, and some of the like Bail Organa and Captain Tilly's, for instance, from that line, and they just repainted this back piece white. Other than that, it's the same stand though. And I really like how, I'm not sure if that's unique for my action figure now, but they added the little spots on his forehead there, which to me, that's something you normally see on an older person. So the fact Hasbro went to all that trouble to make Tarkin look a little bit older, I think is a really neat thing. And he does have a little bit of that sag under his eyes as well, looking a little pale. The bony cheeks. Like I said, it's just a really good head sculpt, and I think it's even better than the TBC one. And the last thing I'll mention is the rank badge. Not sure how accurate that is, and as you can see, the paint is a little sloppy on that. But it's nice that they went to all that trouble to even put some yellow into it. Hasbro never gets the Imperial rank badges right, unfortunately, but I think this one's much closer than what we normally get. And I forget what these pieces are called on each side of his uniform. I think that's kind of is tied into the rank badge. And of course the belt here. But other than that, I think that's all there is to say about this Tarkin. I would highly recommend this one for your collection, and if you don't have a Tarkin up to this point, this is the one I would recommend. And that is if Hasbro never releases a definitive Tarkin in the future in the TBC line. But as it stands of today, at the time of this video, to me, this is the best Tarkin we've ever gotten. It's very affordable. I would have no problem telling you get on eBay or Amazon right now, and you could probably find one for between the $5 to $10 range, free shipping. So as far as Star Wars action figures are concerned, this one's been one of the ones that stay consistent in price. The Revenge of the Sith action figures are $588 at the time, and this one stayed relatively in that range, maybe even a little cheaper every once in a while. So if you need a Tarkin or you want more Imperial officers for your collection, this is one I would recommend that you add and take a closer look at. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more reviews in the future. There will be plenty more to come. And if you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate all the support and let you know when more videos get put out. And check out that Instagram link in the description as well. More content on that will be coming soon. But anyways, thanks for watching.